Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's been a moment since I've uploaded a video, and I apologise for that, but I've not really been doing much. I made an Instagram account a few days ago, so if you want to see short form content, just memes basically. It's on screen now, it's ZX14. Link will be down below. And regular viewers of my content, or I say regular, people who've seen my channel, you may notice the bike's got a bit of green to it. I found some, well, a friend found some second-hand fairings for sale, like very locally. It was like 10 minutes away. They're not perfect, they've got a few scuffs, but £120 for a full set of fairings with a screen and stuff. And yeah, the bike is now green and black, and I think it looks really cool. It's a Kawasaki in green, as it should be. But yeah, enough of that. I'm on my way to work. I've got some time to spare. So I thought I'd do what the title says, basically. This is I've had this bike now for nearly 15 months, so over a year. I know it says a year review, but it's just catchier than 15 months. And I've done 17,000 miles. So I bought this bike at 25,400 and I'm out 43,000. So yeah. What do I think? What are my reflections of basically a year of ownership of Kawasaki ZX14, ZZR1400, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, for those watching who aren't in England, we call them ZZR1400s. Everywhere else calls them a ZX14. So please don't be confused if I use one and the other. Like they're interchangeable. They're the same bike. So yeah, full disclaimer. My bike isn't standard anymore. I'll put on screen the list of mods. It's had anything from performance to just comfort things like these bar risers and heated grips and stuff, but yeah, it's all on screen. That's what I've done to my bike. Some of it came like as I bought it, some of it I've added over time, but yeah. And also I should disclaim, my bike is a 2007. It's a early Gen 1 ZZR1400. So 2006, 2007 was the early Gen 1s. Basically, the only difference is there's no catalytic converter in the header pipe, so where it goes 4 pipes into one before it splits to the 2 exhausts. On the 06 and 07s, there aren't a cat there. There isn't a cat there. On the later versions, people just commonly drill them out. You just literally just disconnect the link pipe and just shove a drill in there, and you can get it out that way. But you don't have to on this bike, so that's nice. I did change the exhaust anyway because it cracked at some point because I hit a speed bump. Not a speed bump, a pothole. Anyway, getting all that out of the way. What do I think of this bike? How's it been to me, and why did I change to a ZZR? So, I love this bike. If this were to die tomorrow, if it were just like to have, I don't know, someone rear-end it or the engine dropped a cylinder or something catastrophic, I'd go out and buy another. I really would. I've had this bike, like I said, 17,000 miles, just over a year, and I've had no issues with it, apart from the radiator needed replacing because a lorry threw a rock into it. The exhaust needed replacing because I hit a pothole and it cracked. Like, it wasn't mechanical issues on the bike's half, it was issues because, I don't know, the environment, I guess. It could happen to any bike. I had its valves done at 32,000 miles because, like I said, I bought it at 25. They're meant to be done every 26, but I didn't have the money, so mine got done at 32,000. The first bike I've ever had a valve check on because before this I had VFR 800s, which are notoriously expensive to do a valve check on because it's a V engine, so obviously you've got 2 cylinder heads. With an inline 4, it's just 1, so it's a lot cheaper. I know, I'm a cheap bastard, I'm sorry. But yeah, 32,000 miles, I think 4 of the valves are out, the exhaust was slightly out of spec, but yeah, it wasn't much money, and now the bike should run for a lot longer. So yeah, reliability wise, this bike has been solid. I've got no complaints about the reliability. It's never left me stranded. I've pushed a button, it's gone every time. Performance, it's a ZZR, it's a 1400cc. This is the bike this was Kawasaki's response to the Hayabusa, for God's sake. Like, if you're asking about performance, yeah, it's got it. This will easily keep up with anything on the road, like anything. I've had Teslas try to race me, not plaids, like just Model 3s. I've had roll races with just like Gixxer thousands and stuff, and they never expect it. They never expect the power this thing has, because I used to have a top box on this. I put a picture on the screen. So I was in full like touring dad mode. I had the top box on, I had the heated grips, I was really chilled out. And then someone would come alongside you and you just turn your wrist and suddenly you're doing faster than them. And they don't expect it. It's hilarious. Unless you know what this bike is, it is kind of, I don't want to say a sleeper, but it, you know, it doesn't look like a racy bike, I guess. I don't know, a sport bike. At least that's my opinion. I could be talking out my arse here. Yeah, so performance, it's got it. Reliability, it's got it. Servicing, like how easy is it to look after? So I'm not a massive mechanic type. I just want to get into a slow again. So I'm chilling out. I'll do basic stuff. So I do maintenance items like oil filter, air filter, brake pads. You know, stuff you should be able to change. I'd say if you're getting a motorbike or any vehicle, you should be able to change at least the consumables. If not, just maybe reconsider. Yeah, all you need for this bike is a paddock stand. You just put it on the stand to lift it up a little bit, and you can get the oil filter no issue. You can reach it through the bottom fairing without taking it off. The drain plug is right on the bottom, so that's easy to get to. Air filter it's kind of a pain. It's not massive though. You just got to take these two infill panels off, this little panel off, and it like comes out the side, because unlike most bikes, you don't lift the tank up and the air filter's underneath it. Underneath the tank on this, it's got like a frame rail, so you have to access the engine from the side, which is, you get used to it. Like Kawasaki have clearly thought about that, and they've given you like access panels to do all that. So compared to my again, I'm comparing this to my VFR 800, because I had two of those bikes, and I had them for just over a year in total, because one blew a head gasket or cracked a cylinder head after just under a year. I bought a second one because up until then it was fine, and that had ABS issues, binding brake issues, rectifier issues. It had so many bloody issues. That's why I got rid of it. I fixed all its issues, quickly sold it, and got this. Like, yeah, that's why I got a ZZR. The VFR was driving me insane, and I couldn't be happier. I'm glad I did. I was originally going to get I was going to go from a Honda VFR 800 to a Blackbird, because I wanted to keep it all Honda, which my first bike was a Honda CBR 125. So I wanted to go Honda basically. But the VFR pissed me off so much with how many issues it had. I thought, fuck it, I went Kawasaki. I hadn't even heard of this bike up until like maybe a few months before buying it. I was like, oh, you know, there's a higher booster, there's the Blackbird. Wait, Kawasaki made a entry, I guess, to the speed wars, and I just fell in love with the front of it. I love the way the front of this bike looks, specifically the 06 to 2011 model, the Gen 1 with the 6 slides. You know, it just looks like a spider. It looks really cool. It's a 40 here, and there's a car that's gonna come up my ass. I'm gonna get flashed and beeped at. Yeah, there he goes. No one ever slows to 40 here, but again, I'm taking it easy. I'm chilling. I'm not in a rush. It's Friday, and the light's gone red anyway. Oh, it's turning off. Okay. Yeah. So, a year of ownership. Would I recommend this bike? Hell yeah! If you're watching this video, you either know what this bike is and you just want some sort of feedback, I guess, or just more opinions, or you've just stumbled into this video by accident, in which case, hello, I'm James. I do YouTube stuff and Instagram stuff now. Again, hit me up, Instagram. I'm going to do a little acceleration here, just because, again, it's 70 roads, so this is the performance you can get on a ZZR. And the visor open air, so you can sort of hopefully hear the engine a bit, but it's insane. Like, and also just the instrument cluster, everything about this bike is nice. So you've got your speed and RPM, obviously. You have your fuel gauge, which for non-bikers that seems really like dumb. Like, oh, he's got a fuel gauge, ha ha. That's not always a thing on a bike, so that's really nice to have. You have your clock in the middle, your odometer, you have your gear indicator. This does have a gear indicator, standard, so that's 6 is my gear indicator. You go 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, I will say first gear on this bike is geared stupidly long. Like you can do like the speed limit in first gear, you can stay in first gear all you want. Your fuel economy will be shit, but hey. Yeah, you got your instant MPG, range remaining, battery, trip computer, average MPG, all of that jazz. It's got it all. Like for a 2006 bike, that's when this bike came out. It's awesome. The second gen ones, the 2011 onwards ones, get black back dials and they get other they get traction control and ABS is standard and stuff. I personally don't think you need any of that. I love the simplicity of this. This is 2 wheels, an engine, and like some nice dials. I don't want traction control. I want it to be me controlling this bike, not the computers. And like I said, ABS isn't standard on the Gen 1s. It was an option thing. Mine doesn't have it, and for anyone looking at a Gen 1, so the 2006 to 2011 models, just be warned that the ABS pump is like £1,000 to get a replacement if it goes wrong, or like £500 to refurbish one. So if you want ABS, feel free, but I wouldn't bother personally. These brakes, you got dual 6 spots at the front, or 3. I don't know how you can classify it. It's got 3 pistons each side, so I guess it's a 6 spot. So dual 6 spots up front. You got I think it's a dual pot at the back, or a single. You got enough rear brake, put it that way. Yeah, I've never had issues with like slowing quick on this bike. I love it. Yeah, I don't want to waffle on too much. I always see like recommended a year of ownership of this bike, or you know how I feel after a year or whatever. So I thought I had to do one. I had to do a year review of my ZZR, because this bike's been really good to me, and I wanted to just basically do a video praising it. So yeah, anyone thinking about getting a ZZR or just a ZX14, I've had no issues with it, but obviously don't get it as your first bike. Please God, don't get it as your first bike. These things are like 200 horsepower, 120 foot-pound of torque on a bike, which is insane. But yeah, like you can ride it easily. Of course, a 50 here. Slow down again. Yeah, don't get it as your first bike. Maybe your second or third. Like again, I went 125, 800, 800, 1400, and I haven't killed myself on it yet. I've had a few close calls, but that's because drivers are idiots and just pull out on you. So that's the bike of life, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll throw some pictures on screen of my, I guess, ownership of this bike. I take pictures of this bike quite a lot, so you can see it as I bought it up until now. So thanks for watching if you made it this far. I hope it wasn't too boring, and any questions or I always appreciate it. If you have a technical question, put it in the comments. Like average MPG, I get about 39 to the gallon on this, if anyone's wondering. Service intervals, any of that jazz. Just if Google's not your friend, I'll try give you my feedback. Like I said, I've owned this bike for just over a year, 17,000 miles. I'm not a mechanic, but I feel like I know enough to sort of talk about it. So anyway, I'll shut up now. And like I said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please comment, subscribe, like, all that jazz. And if you want sort of more meme content, hit up my Instagram, @James96.